All right, welcome back to the next 30 questions of the theory exam for today, and let's dive into it immediately. Good, and here I have the first question for today, but I don't get it because we have it again in Spanish and it's not actualized. I will give me 1 second. Maybe I can change it while the stream. Give me a second that I can fix it. Okay. Yes, now it worked. Perfect. Okay. So I could fix it perfectly. Here we go. Your car suffers a flat tire on the motorway. What should you do? I have to turn on my hazard lights and park as far to the right as possible. I have to place the warning triangle at a distance of about 100 meters. I have to continue driving to the next exit. Okay, you have to turn on the hazard lights. That's correct. And place the warning triangle. The distance is 100 meters outside of the village. That's correct too. And continue driving to the next exit is a good idea too. Huh? No, I'm so stupid. Oh, of course not. You should wait there and then wait until someone picks you up. Oh, starts wonderfully for today. Okay. I made it wrong. Let's go ahead. I'm sorry. So please, when you're on highway, stop on the right-hand side and don't drive ahead. Your car has a fault and can no longer be driven. What must you be aware of during towing? During towing, the force required to operate the brake pedal is significantly greater if the engine has failed. During towing, a towing bar should be used where possible. The rear fog lights should also be switched on to indicate the towing procedure. 2 answers are correct. The force required to operate the brake pedal is greater if the engine has failed, and a towing bar should be used where possible. Whereas rear fog lights, no, you shouldn't activate it. You have to, you have to put on the emergency lights. Okay, but maybe I can explain you why the first two. Maybe you have an idea. When your car doesn't work anymore, and the engine is not working, there is no additional force helping you to brake, which is normally activated. So you have to brake it totally manual without additional force, and that's why it makes it more difficult. A towing bar you could use as well. A tow, I don't know, something like yeah, I think it's tow, the English word. But the towing bar, which is more a metal stick, is better because there you always maintain the distance. So wherever possible, use that one instead of the German word Seil. Yeah, the connection between of these two cars. I think we will get in the next question to the word I was searching for. The car has a fault and can no longer be driven. What must you be aware of during towing? Well, a tow, obviously, that was the word I was searching for. During towing, the towing cable. So now, towing cable, that's the other thing. So you can use the towing bar, or if I go back, the towing cable. And towing cable yeah, does not help you, or is dangerous maybe because you might get closer to the car in front of you. But okay, let's go on there. During towing, the towing cable should be kept as taut as possible. The motorway might only be used to shorten the journey to the next car garage. The hazard lights must be switched on both vehicles. Okay, during towing, the towing cable should be kept as taut as possible. Yes. And the motorway must only be used to shorten. No, that was the mistake I did before. You shouldn't use the highway. Once you are getting, if you're towed up and you are already on highway, then you can go to the next exit and leave there. But just to get faster to your destination, you should not extra enter the highway while towing. So that's the wrong answer, but the last one, because both vehicles have to use the hazard lights. Good. Your car has an engine fault and must be towed away with a tow rope. What must you be aware of? A malfunctioning car with assisted steering is difficult to steer. When towing an electric vehicle, it is necessary to following the manufacturer's guidelines. Driving license class BE is the minimum required in order to tow a car. Alright, your car has an engine fault, must be towed away. In that case, yes, it is difficult to steer if your car, which doesn't work, normally works with assisting steering. You have to know this assisting steering helps you to turn the steering wheel and it makes it more easy, and this works together with the engine. But as mentioned in the question, the engine doesn't run anymore, so the additional force to help you to turn the steering wheel is not there, and that's why it is more difficult to steer. So the first one is correct. And electric vehicles have quite often something like a recovery for the battery when they brake, so they brake more heavy. Then it's difficult to run the car actually. So you really have to check out the manufacturer's guidelines when you want to tow up an electric vehicle. And driving license BE, do you know what it is? This is a license which is required if you want to have a trailer up to 3.5 tons or heavier than 750 kilogram, I think. Yes. Well, at least you can drive trailers up to 3.5 tons, but it has nothing to do with towing up a car. And that's why this is not a correct answer. You experience a breakdown outside of a built-up area. Your car is situated on the carriageway behind a bend in the road, which is correct in this situation. I have to switch on my hazard lights. I have to place at least one visible warning sign about 100 meters behind the vehicle. I should wear a high-vis vest. All three. Exactly. All three of them are correct. Let's activate. And here we go. Where is it permitted to flash headlights to indicate your intention to overtake? Hi. Yes, 1, 2, and 3 was correct. And in that case, where is it permitted to flash headlights? In darkness outside built-up areas, in darkness in built-up areas, in daylight outside built-up areas. In that case, you have to check darkness or daylight. No, that has nothing to do with the right if you're allowed to use the flash headlights. It has to do if you're inside or outside the village and in outside build-up areas you can use it. Meanwhile, in inside you're not allowed to use it, and it could be daylight outside, you can still use it. So it's 1 and 3. It doesn't matter if it's day or night. The important thing is that you're outside of the village or town. Good. When must you switch on the hazard lights on your vehicle? If my vehicle is being towed, is briefly double parked by me, okay, experience a breakdown at a place where the view is obscured. So where do we have to activate the hazard lights? In generally, there are just 4 situations where you're allowed to use the hazard lights. One situation is being towed, so that's the first one. Briefly double parked by me. Even if a lot of people use the hazard lights to use it when they start to park on a place where they shouldn't, it's not allowed. This is not a situation where you're allowed to use the hazard lights. But exactly, Arsalan, in the third one, experience as a breakdown and a breakdown too. These are the 2 mentioned here, which are correct. Additionally, it might be as well when you enter into a tunnel, or if you if you enter to a tunnel, what I'm saying, if you get into a traffic jam inside tunnel, for example, or on highway. And that was the third one. And the last where you're allowed to use it if you have an accident in front of you. So you don't have to have a breakdown, but in front of you something dangerous happens, and then you can activate it too. These are the 4. You have to know it for your practical exam, because this is one of the favorite questions of the examiner, asking you before the exam starts. So in which situations to activate the hazard warning lights? How can you tell whether the rear fog lamp is switched on? By the amber indicator light, by the blue indicator light, by the red indicator light. The rear fog lamp is switched on. Let me see, I think that is the Nebelschlussleuchte, I think. Yes, okay. I have painted it. Let's see. 1, exactly. It's I painted 2, but it's here in my picture it's just 1. It's the yellow, so the amber indicator light. I have to click here. So now the second one, the green one, which I painted there, is the amber light, exactly. And the second one would be the normal fog light, which is in front of the car. Okay, then let's turn that off. Exactly. Visibility is considerably reduced. When are you allowed to switch on fog headlamps? There we have it. Now we're talking about the fog headlamps. So in rain, in falling snow, or in fog. So meanwhile, the fog lights on the rear, they are mandatory. The fog headlamps are not mandatory. Some cars do have it and some others don't. And these fog headlamps in front, they can be used in rain, in falling snow, or in fog. Meanwhile, these, I will go 1 question back. This rear fog lamp is just to be used by fog. So make sure that you don't get confused. All 3, but we had it already. Yeah, so all 3 of it. You are driving at night on an unlit road. There is a motor vehicle traveling a short distance in front of you. Which light must you have on? Full beam, only side lights, dipped headlights. I think that is easy. It is dipped headlights. See? And yes, that's correct. Okay, the rear lighting system of your car are covered. What has to be done? Exactly the third. Yeah, I think right now the transmission of questions and video is a bit slow. But you're right, Aslan. 3 was correct. Okay, meanwhile you can read that answers. I can tell you about the situation where this question might apply. For example, we traveled with my parents to Bodensee, so a big lake in the south of Germany, and we took our bicycles with us, and we had an extension on the back of our car to put on the bicycles, and that's why the lighting system or the rear lighting system was actually covered. So what has to be done in that case? All illuminaire rail system with all rear lighting systems must be attached in any case, need only be attached for journeys at dusk or during the hours of darkness, need only be attached on journeys longer than 5 kilometers. So the luminaire rail system with rear lighting systems must be attached in any case. Why is just the first one correct? Because imagine it's not only the backlights when you drive with dipped headlights, for example, it's as well for the brakes that people can see when you're braking, and that's why they have to be attached in any case, and not only if it's dark or just 5 kilometers. It's important to see that you brake. Exactly, that's why the first is correct. A basic rule: what lights of a motor vehicle must be turned on when driving in darkness? Keep in mind they're talking as a basic rule. The passing beam, only the parking light, the driving beam. I've got the feeling they use sometimes different words for the same thing. It's one, the passing beam. Dipped headlights is the same than passing beam, I think. Yeah? Okay, but it's the first answer here in that case. How can you tell that your main beam lights are switched on? By the green indicator lamp, red indicator lamp, blue indicator lamp. That is main beam? They're talking about the high beam, or? Yes, Fernlicht in German. So I know that light as high beam, but okay. The high beam has the symbol, you know the color? It is that one, painted on the right. Exactly, it's the blue light. That is correct. And yes, it looks like that. So I can turn it off here again. Zack. Okay, nice. This is a very common question too for the technical questions while practical exams. So they ask, where is the Fernlicht? Wo ist das Fernlicht? And then you have to show it. And then they ask you, can you turn it on? And after you turn it on, they ask you, and where is the symbol? Und wo ist das Symbol? And then you have to show the blue symbol. That they normally ask 3 questions, and these are actually 3 questions. So that's a very common sequence of questions asked in the practical exam as well. When are you allowed to use fog headlamps also during the day? When visibility is considerably reduced by fog or falling snow, by rain, by ice on the windscreen. It is considerably reduced when the visibility is considerably reduced by fog or falling snow, by rain, by ice on the windscreen. Well, actually, your fog headlamps do not help you if there are ice on the windscreen, and you shouldn't drive then. Yeah, you have to push it away before driving. So it's just 1 and 2, you're right. When are you allowed to switch on rear fog lamps? When fog reduces visibility to less than 50 meters, when fog reduces visibility to 100 meters, when visibility is reduced by heavy rain. So in that case, we're not talking about the fog lights for the front. We are talking about the lights on the back. And these are mandatory. And the only correct question here, or correct answer, is when fog reduces visibility to less than 50 meters. It's just used by fog, and you can count that 50 meters if you're at one elevator. So one of these white sticks outside the village, and you can't see the next one. The distance in between is 50 meters, and then you know, okay, now it's less visibility than 50 meters, and I have to activate them. Good. Where is it sufficient to use your parking lights while your car is parked on an unlit roadway? On the hard shoulder of Autobahns, in built-up areas, outside built-up areas. Where is it sufficient to use parking lights? Anyone? Honestly, I'm not 100% sure in that one. But it's definitely not at hard shoulder of Autobahns. Because you shouldn't park there. So would eliminate that one. In built-up areas. Yes, I think you're right, Arsalan. It's 2 in built-up areas. Nice. Good. When must you use dipped headlights also during the day? Yeah, honestly, was not sure there too. Yeah, I should be, but sometimes a little bit luck can help us too. When must you use dipped headlights also during the day? When visibility is considerably reduced by rain, by a misted windscreen, by fog or falling snow. When must you use dipped headlights also during the day? To make it a bit easier, you have to use the dipped headlights during day, always when other people might have problems to see you and you're better seen through that lights. So if you think on that perspective, by rain it makes sense, and by fog or falling snow. Meanwhile, a misted windscreen you might not see, but if you turn on the dipped headlights, it doesn't make it better, and other people still see you. You just have to put some warm air on the windscreen to get a clear vision, but not the dipped headlights. Good. 1 and 3 is correct. That's nice. During twilight or the hours of darkness, when must you have your side lights switched on as a minimum requirement? Okay, when the vehicle is parked on the hard shoulder outside built-up areas, when driving on roads with adequate continuous lighting. So the good thing is there's just one correct. Side lights switched on as a minimum requirement. Exactly, you're right. It's the first one. Good. When do you have to switch on your dipped headlights? When driving through a tunnel, during twilight, when it is dark. All three, I would say. When driving through tunnel, during twilight, and when it is dark. Let's see. Tipped. Yeah. Yes, all three. Good. What can be the consequence of wrongly setting the headlamp leveling control? Oh my god. Leveling? Yeah, now I know. That's these automation when you're driving, and sometimes the car decides if they can activate high beam or if they have to use the dipped headlights. Dipped headlights, exactly. So when can be the consequence of wrongly setting the headlamp leveling control? The oncoming traffic may be dazzled by my dipped headlights. My car's headlamp range may be too short. No, I was telling it wrong. Setting the headlight leveling control. Okay, no, I explained the question wrong. I got it wrong. It is this small, there's a small wheel which you can turn up or down, and therefore you can lower or put up the lights up. Actually, this is the headlamp leveling control. The oncoming traffic may be dazzled by the dipped headlights. Yes, because they're a bit higher, and then you might dazzle the people even if you use the dipped headlights if they have been wrongly set it. My car's headlamp range may be too short. Yes, as well. The life cycle of light bulb of the headlights may be... No, doesn't matter. No. It's just the angle which is changed, but it has nothing to do with the life cycle. So you're right, Arslan. This is 1 and 2. What is the function of your vehicle's high beam assist during hours of darkness? Now we are talking about this assistance systems of high beam. So when you're driving and the car detects in front of you no car, then automatically it turns on the high beam. Meanwhile, if it detects that there's coming traffic, it will turn off automatically. So the high beam assist dims the high beam in good time when there is oncoming traffic. The high beam assist activates the high beam when the ambient conditions are suitable. The high beam assist cleans the headlamp for the high beam. It is the 1 and 2. Exactly. For example, when I get into a tunnel and you have it in automatic, then automatically the car recognizes we are in a tunnel and activates by its own the dipped headlights. Exactly. Yeah, the dipped turns. It's the same system, I think. Okay. In what situation might your high beam assist be unable to dim your vehicle's high beam in good time when encountering oncoming traffic? When dazzled by an oncoming vehicle, when driving over a summit, when driving around a bend in the road. Okay, meanwhile, you might think about the correct answer. In which situation might the high beam assist not working correct? And therefore, we have to know how is it working. And normally it is a sensor which is detecting cars in front. So if you're driving over a summit, you can't detect the car which is coming behind the summit, and that's why it won't work. That's why 2 is correct. Nice. And the same applies when you're driving around a bend, then it can't detect the car, but you might see it because it's a bit more more lighter at the bend. You can see already or anticipate that there is a car coming. And that's why sometimes it's better to drive without it and do it manually. All right, good. You are driving with main beam lights on in darkness. When do you have to dip your headlights? when a vehicle is oncoming, when a vehicle is driving close in front, if there are pedestrians in front moving in the same direction. So when a vehicle is oncoming, yes, and when a vehicle is driving close in front as well, because they get blinded in the rear mirror, yeah, in the back mirror. And if there are pedestrians in front moving in the same direction, it's like I'm driving like this and the person is walking like that, then you're not blinding them. So exactly, 1 and 2 is correct. Good. You are driving with main beam lights on in darkness. When do you have to dip your headlights? If there are pedestrians moving in the same direction in front of me, if I'm driving on a road with constant adequate lighting, if I'm required to wait at a rail crossing and dazzling others. Similar like the question before, or if there are pedestrians moving in the same direction in front of me, yes, we had that before as well. If I'm driving on a road with constant adequate lighting, when do you have to dip your headlights? No, 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 no. I was wrong. It's like there you can drive with high beam and you don't have to dip your headlights. You're right, Aslan. I was mistaken. If I'm driving on a road with constant adequate lighting, then you have to dip the headlights. And if I'm required to wait at rail crossings and dusting, obviously, yes, you're right. Oh, I have to pay attention. It was a long day and my concentration is not that good. But no excuses, no excuses. Let's do this. Why must you also drive with dipped headlights during the day when visibility is impaired by fog, rain, or falling snow? So why? I think I explained that already. So that you will be more easily seen by other road users, so that you can drive at a higher speed, so that you can see traffic signs at greater distance. I think that one is a trap, because some sound quite correct and they're not correct. Exactly, the only correct answer is 1, so that you will be more easily seen by other road users, because that you can drive higher speed. It's clear that this can't be the correct answer, because they are not forcing or don't want to give you arguments to drive faster in that exam. But that you can see traffic signs at greater distance if it's raining or if it's fog, the light doesn't help you actually. Yeah, that's to see better. That's why it's just the first. You're right. Okay, what is the recommended speed that applies to cars and motorcycles on highways or autobahns? Yeah, I think that is, you have to know it, but I think that is very common information. A lot of people know. The recommended speed on highways is 130. All right. So in exam, actually, that's maybe a good information too. The examiners are happy if you just drive 120. You can drive faster, but faster you drive, more risky it might get. So to be on the safe side, during your practical exam, I would go on with 120 and that's fine. But in real life, the recommended speed is 130. You are driving in the left of 2 lanes, approaching a vehicle that has just started to overtake. What do you do? Close up to the vehicle in front, sound your horn and flash your lights. Keep an adequate distance behind the vehicle in front. Allow the vehicle in front to overtake. Well, the first is definitely not correct. But keep an adequate distance behind the vehicle in front. Definitely, that's important. If you get too close, it's probably one of the biggest um, accident risks is having not enough distance. And exactly, you're right, the free as well. Allow the vehicle in front to overtake. Good. You are driving on Autobahn in light traffic. How long are you allowed to stay in the left-hand lane? As long as you are driving behind a vehicle which is overtaking in the left-hand lane, all the time provided no other vehicle wants to overtake you, as long as is necessary to overtake other vehicles. Two correct answers. As long as you're driving behind a vehicle which is overtaking in the left-hand lane, because there's some slow trucks, and this is the car which this is the car which is overtaking, or that one, and it's like changed, yeah. So that one is overtaking, and you're coming behind that, and you want to overtake the overtaking car, and he's not moving. That's why. Oh, great that you came here. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations, Malware. Awesome. Okay, as long as you are driving behind a vehicle which is overtaking the left-hand lane, and as long as is necessary to overtake other vehicles too. And you're doing party today, Madhur? I hope so. I hope so. Oh, I'm really, really happy for you. It's always like, it's so great. I'm finishing such a big project like getting a German driver license. Yes, awesome. Great. Okay, I will go on because there are just two questions left. Let's finish them. What applies on clearways for motor vehicles only? In darkness, you may drive faster than the range of visibility allowed by dipped headlights. No U-turns. Join the clearway only at crossroads and junctions. On weekend, you had the... sometimes you have to do it in Saturdays. It's not that often, but on weekend, it's an advantage if you have to drive on Saturday because there's less traffic, I would say. And everyone wants to get fast home, and so maybe the exam is not that long. Okay, Arslan, you say 2 and 3. No U-turns. Join the clearway only at crossroads and junctions. That's true. In darkness, you might drive faster than the range of visible allowed by dipped headlights. Oh, you're right. It's 2 and 3 is correct. Ah, okay, you're doing party on the weekend. Oh, I'm sorry. I got it wrong. Okay. Good, good, good. However, sometimes the exam can be on Saturday too, actually. Okay, a traffic jam. Last question for today. A traffic jam has formed on a 3-lane Autobahn. Where must the channel for emergency vehicles be formed? Ah, you got it today. Great, great. Okay, I have to concentrate. On the hard shoulder between the left-hand lane and the left hand and the middle lanes, between the middle and right-hand lanes. It is the second. So if you've got 3 lanes, there are the slower ones. This is the middle, and there is the lane to overtake. Then it's in that one there, the emergency ambulances, firefighters, police can pass. So it's always between the left hand and the middle lane. Exactly, it's 2. Yes, and we finished for today. Awesome. Manu, once again, all the best, and thank you that you have joined the channel and just say and to share your success for today. And I wish you a great party at the weekend. And yeah, I wish you all the best, Arslan, too. You will get ready soon too, I'm sure. All right, then. Thanks that you have joined. And we see us maybe tomorrow, if you like. At 8:30, I'm here again. Okay, have a great time. and see you